Okay, go ahead.
Well, go on, everybody. Lennox here from Simple 123 Trader. It is Monday, April 14th. We are live at the New York stock market afternoon session. Glad you can join us. Hope everybody is doing well. All right, we're starting a new time. I'm going to try it out for this week at least and see how it goes. And here we go. All right, I'm going to take a look firstly at news for today. I don't believe there's any, but let's just double check. US dollar, USD, there's orange news. FOMC member speaking. That's the only news we really have, some orange news today. All right, let's take a look at US dollar versus the Euro US dollar.
The dollar is under $1.
Let me switch this around. All of a sudden, my screen has moved up.
Good morning.
I do have some people dropping in here. Good morning. Good morning. Give me 1 second here, gentlemen. Good morning. Good afternoon, George.
Yeah, it's still morning.
It is morning now. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to get awake here. Where's my DXY? Where'd it go? Did I move my? I think I moved my dollar down, so that's probably what my problem is. Okay, here we go. There it is. Okay, so the US dollar is at the bottom, and the Euro US dollar is at the top. And I use them as a gauge as to what's going on with the US dollar because they kind of go opposite to each other. So US dollar is showing a little bit of strength currently. The last few hours it's been slowly trying to move up.
The parity.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else I have here. I've got that's Euro gold versus the Euro gold. And here I have should be Euro US, should be US NAS versus S&P. Always a good thing to watch. Okay, we're at 21 minutes after the hour. We got 9 minutes before the open. So let's see if I can get these two going here.
At this point, I'm sort of expecting a positive day.
I think so, eh?
At this point, I'm expecting a positive day.
You think so? Why is that, George?
Well, it just seems that things seem to be rolling in that direction right now. I mean,
Right,
at least this morning.
All right, well,
I've got a couple of positive trades and, well, one negative and one positive.
Okay, so that means it's neutral right now.
Two positive and one negative.
One positive, one negative means we're neutral.
Well, I got two positive and one negative. I'm sorry.
Ah, there we go. The truth comes out. Okay. I'm having some problems connecting here, so I'm not sure why. So might have to refresh again, so bear with me.
Yep.
I have to refresh again, indeed. So let me try that again. Okay. It's trying here. There we go. There we go. Okay. right, so I'm on.
As far as my analysis, I think the daily was up, the 4-hour was up, and the hour was up, but we're sort of working on wave 5 now on the higher time frames.
Let's see what it looks like from the daily point of view here. Okay, so you're of the opinion that we're going to have an up day. I don't think that might occur because, well, it's possible, I suppose, because they might fake us out a little bit more here, but we're at a very crucial point right now on the chart. And once again, this could just be a ruse by the market makers to entice buying. So I'm going to show you what I'm seeing, and then you can decide for yourselves. But currently, I've got a 1, 2, 3 right here. So a good morning, a good day to everyone out there on YouTube. We are the 1, 2, 3 traders. We look for 1, 2, 3 tops and bottoms. And 1, 2, 3 tops and bottoms are simply just that. What we say, it's just a 1, 2, 3. We call this our 1, we call this our 2, call this our 3. And that's basically all we're looking for. We want to see the rules for the 1, 2, 3 is simple. We just want to see number 3 retracing between number 1 and number 2 into the 50 to, am I trying to draw here? Wow, into the 50. This is a 5 into the 50 to 62% retrace area of between 1 and 2, and then we want to take advantage of the trade in that area and go down to a low. In this case, because it's a 1, 2, 3 top, we want to go down to a low, and I prefer to go to 1.618 Fibonacci ratio.
I got out at 1.618.
And that's our 1, 2, 3 in a nutshell. It's a simple concept, not an easy thing to trade, however. So if we were correct, and if I'm correct in saying that this is a 1, 2, 3 top and we've dropped to this level, then I can now switch over to Elliott wave theory, and Elliott wave theory says we have a 1, 2, and then this would be a 3, and that puts us into a 4th wave. So we should be very close to the end of a 4th wave at this point, very close, and then we'd be looking for a drop to take out the number 3 point. So that is our 1, 2, 3. All right. So that's our 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'd have a 5th wave. So the 1, 2, 3 is controlling the move. So on the daily here, we're in a 4th wave, and we're inside of a gap. And we can use gaps. I use the ITC gaps. I look at ITC order blocks and gaps primarily as 2 other indicators to help me with confirming these 1, 2, 3s. I can get into more detail as we go along as well. We also look for sweeps of previous highs, sweeps of previous lows in order to confirm our 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's what we look for. Okay, so it is 27 minutes after. We got a couple minutes before the market begins, and today. This morning before 9:30 open, what we're looking for primarily is a 1, 2, 3. Today we're looking for a 1, 2, 3 top. And I'll tell you why. So we're on the 4 hour, and we're in a move to the upside currently. And again, looking like we should be turning around in this area. However, they could push up and take out these highs in here, right in the middle of this gap that's here, and then we could take out the highs here before we see it pull back down. So that might be what's going to happen here. Let's see. On the hourly, we're pushing to the upside. Lots of strength here. So people might be saying, okay, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about because it's pushing to the upside. But that's what they like to do. They push it in one direction to entice everybody to go the wrong way. So looking for them to, let me go back one screen here, one time frame. So this is the high, so that's the midpoint. So are they going to go all the way up there? Perhaps. Okay, so I've got less than a minute, so let me get right down to nitty-gritties here. So what I'm looking for at the open is the 8 o'clock time. So 8 o'clock was down, it was here, and 9:30 is coming up, and I'm looking for the low between 8 o'clock and 9:30. So the low is right down here, and the high. So I'm going to mark off these 2 points. So this is the low before it, between 8 o'clock and 9:30. This is the high currently between 8 o'clock and 9:30. Okay, so there I got them marked off. So now when the bell rings in 20 seconds here. Oh, no. Yeah, it just rang. Okay, so there we go. It's off. So now what I'm looking for is price to either break the low or the high. And right now we're way up at the high. So more than likely we're going to break the high. So once we break the high, I want to see a 1, 2, 3 top up here to come back down to take out the low. So if you're correct, George, then I'm incorrect, and we're not going down, and we're going to continue going up. So let's see.
Well, we just tagged a high of yesterday, I think. I mean, Friday.
All right, so I'm going to patiently wait now for a 1, 2, 3 top to form above this high. Let's see if that occurs. If I see anything else, I will also mark it out. So right now, I've got an open gap here. This is just a regular open gap. So I'll mark that. I have also got a fair value gap right here. There's a bearish fair value gap, so I'm going to mark that one. Okay, so they're kind of side by side here. We did touch. Did we go above? High 250.74. High 254. Nope, we did not go above. So interesting. Did not break that high. Very close. So right now, what I can see from this level here, we've got a 1, 2 here. We moved up. Now they've taken up. Now they're taking out this low. So we've got a high. We actually have a 1, 2, 3 right here. They've dropped it back down, and they're pushing back up again into this area. So a lot of game playing going on right now.
Yep.
So it's tough. I'm going to mark this up. Kind of mark it up the way I look at it when we usually here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So this is totally a new thing for us to come early in the morning. And so do bear with us as we navigate the waters, as it were, here. So I'm seeing lots of gaps. So I'm just marking them because they are there. But this also is a gap here. Could have actually sold this at this point, but based on a fractal and so forth, but it's moving very fast, so it's a tough one, very difficult one. Here's another fractal forming. I like to go in on fractals. Fractals are 3 candle formations.
Markets are very fast right now.
Yeah. Fractals are swing lows or swing highs. 3 candle formation, swing low or swing high, and they can be bought or sold at the breach of the low or the high. So right there, that would have been a buy. Right here, that would have been a sell. Right here, that would have been a sell, and so on. But sometimes it doesn't work because this was a low. and this was a breach, and then if you bought, you would have been taken out with a stop below. So all right, so we're gonna patiently wait until such time that we see the setup that we're looking for at the beginning of the morning, because otherwise you jump into a dangerous shark infested waters here, and you can get yourself bit, or maybe even eaten. So look, another fractal setting up right now. So there's another gap down here. We've come into that gap. So they're really. So this is I'm looking for the 930 candle, which is right here.
VIX is 32 right now, Lenny.
Looking for a fair value gap after 930, but one has not painted as yet, interestingly. Okay. So far, George, we're falling, but
Yep.
we did not break the high, which is quite interesting here. They
Just touched the high.
Yeah, they came within a whisker of doing it, but they did not. So I'm wondering if, and which I haven't checked, did S&P break the high?
Oh, that's a good point.
No, they did not. Did the futures break the high? No. So quite interesting here. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing currently. Bitcoin's also dropping. So very, very interesting what's going on here. I've got 3 4-hour candles on the right hand side. Anybody wondering what's going on? That's what I have there. 3 4-hour candles, and it's the most current candles, of course. So finally got a gap now. So look at this move that I'm just sitting here watching this move. I'm trying to be very patient and wait for a setup. And in all that time, I already had my 1, 2, 3. So I was waiting for something specific. I was waiting for them to break this high, and they have not done that at this point. So will they do that? I don't know if they're going to do that or not at this point. However, my 1, 2, 3 was there. I said I could have jumped in on that. It was very fast, but I like that 1, 2, 3. And that could have been a play to even to these levels and perhaps to these levels, and we could have been out. However, I did not take the trade because I was waiting for something specific to occur. I wanted them to take out the high. Okay, so they did not. All right, so
I grabbed 119 handles off this trade.
that's great. So you did it based off the 1, 2, 3 top. End of story.
Yeah.
And
I got in a little late. I got in at, I think it was, let me see, I think it was 220.
Yeah, and it was tempting for me, but I thought, okay, maybe let's see if maybe they're gonna just come down and bounce off these areas down here, perhaps, and come back up again. But they're not doing that. So where are they? What are they doing? Where are they going? I'm gonna go up to the 5-minute. And we've come down into
my target down to 162. That would have been great. It just touched 141.
Come down into a gap here. So our structure from this level, I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's kind of saying that that's as high as we're going to go. So currently, anyways, now we've pulled back. So I would expect us to go back up again, and that maybe this time we might take out the high, perhaps, but could certainly look for a 1, 2, 3 bottom here to go back up. So we've come back down into the second lowest gap on the 5 minute. I'm going to drop back down to the 1 minute again. So it's moving quite rapidly here. All right, so we've got a 1, 2, 3 top. We've got the drop. We could come back down and take out this low one more time. Lots of gaps forming now. So it's quite interesting here. Lots of gaps in here. I'm just marking them up. See if they might be helpful as we move back. So looking for them to take the low out one more time. So we do on the 5 minute, there is another gap just below. So that one here. So they could be coming into this gap. And they did. And that's what. Okay, so will they take the low at this point? And that's a possibility as well. So let's see. So we might be able to catch a nice trade going back up here. I'm just trying to mark it up, like I say. So there's nothing else for them to go down to here, except maybe taking that low. So we've come outside, inside. So that might be it. This gap. Let's see. All right. So looking for a turnaround trade here now.
No, they haven't taken out the current low yet. There they took it out.
Yeah, so they're taking out the low on the 5 minute. There's quite a move so far. So there's nothing else left for them to go to down here. So either they're going to continue down, take out the next low, because this gap is mitigated down here, or we're basically done at this point. So this would be
They could go down to 0.24 and take that one out.
we've got, let's see what our retrace is here. We've retraced well over 50% of this move. We're down in below 79% of this entire move. So it's quite a retrace we've had here on this. 50% is right in here. We've gone through. Consider we're heading down. They're looking like they want to take out the low of this at this point. So that's quite interesting here. So I'm going to mark that off as well.
Good morning.
Oh, we've got more people joining us. Good morning.
Yes, sir. I'm watching Bitcoin. So Bitcoin have a equal low on the 1 minute. So you have to be careful.
Touch the low on that.
So they might be heading down for the lows and NAS as well.
Yeah. Okay, so they're touching that low right as we speak. Bitcoin's doing a similar thing. Right? Bitcoin's doing almost the same type of pattern. We've gone up. They made a 1, 2, 3 top as well. So what I was trying out this morning here for those who are wondering what I was doing, why I wanted to take out the high. It's ICT method that model that he talked about in a video maybe a week or so ago, and he's looking for the 8 o'clock open and the 8 o'clock candle and the 9:30 candle, and looking for the high and the low between those that period, and whichever side is taken first, then you go the opposite way. So that's basically the premise. So that's why I was looking for a sweep of this high, but they did not do it. So I was wondering, okay, so if that doesn't occur, then does that nullify that model? I suppose that would basically entail that it does. But our 1, 2, 3 is there. So regardless of whatever ICT is looking for, our 1, 2, 3 was there. I could have taken the trade at this point. That would have given me a nice move. George jumped in and took advantage of that, and that was it. So because I was looking for that specific model, it did not play out here. So now I have to look for something else, which is now a 1, 2, 3 bottom. So we've taken out all these lows now. Interesting. So I'm going to go up to the 15 just to kind of get a bird's eye view. Okay, so I can see the structure here as well. We've got from this level, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So again, now they've come back and swept this low. We've swept this high. So I'd still be looking for a retrace to continue down. So if I'm correct, we've got a head and shoulders happening here, and we'll be coming back to the downside. So let's see if that will play out. So I'm going to drop back to the 1. All right, so we're getting a 1, 2, 3 setting up as we speak. So this is a large fractal that's playing out right now. So I wouldn't want to retake. You could take that fractal, but it's quite large, so your risk is very high. So I'd look for a retrace back into a sweet spot area here, 50 to 62%. So let's see if we get that. And again, Bitcoin's doing the same type of pattern as well. So we can look for a 1, 2, 3 bottom here on Bitcoin. And where did Bitcoin go down to? They came down to almost the lows down here to take them out, but they did not take out those lows. And it looks like they might take those lows out on Bitcoin. So it might be a possibility here. You could see another drop on Bitcoin. And let's see the 5 minute. So we're right there. I'm going to take that low again, looks like. So that would bring the NAS back down a little bit if they do that. We haven't had a hiccup in here at all so far compared to the NAS, which has had. So they've taken that low. And here is the NAS pulling back as well. Okay, so we're getting a nice 1, 2, 3 now on the NAS. So this is setting up for a buy. So I'm going to take a stab at this buy, although they could break the low as well.
Yeah,
break this low.
Be careful of that one.
Yeah, you might want to break that low first. So again, right now I have a 1, 2, 3 top, and then this drop. So I would expect that they would take they'd take the low. Yeah, so they did take the low first. Okay. All right, so looking for a 1, 2, 3 bottom still here. So this is how they kind of fake it. Our structure is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we had our 1, 2 up here. We dropped. So at this point, we would expect them to take that low, which is right there. We'd expect them to take it, and they did. So now I could look for a fractal or a new 1, 2, 3, one that would break this high. So now we have had a sweep. So essentially, this is what we're looking for. We've had a sweep. We would look for another sweep at this point, price to push up above and sweep this high, and then retrace back into 50 to 62% entry to go along. Okay, so I'm trying to just do it mechanically here. So let's see if that happens that way. Okay, again, I could jump in on a fractal right here, right now, but I'll wait for the actual setup just to do it the right way here. Well, not saying that it's wrong to do it with a fractal. That's the best way actually, but just want to show you what the 1, 2, 3 is all about. Okay, so we've got a gap right there. We've got a gap forming again inside this gap. So looking for them to sweep this high right here. We're almost at the 10 minutes to 10 macro. So there's a macro that's going to be starting in 1 minute. And then at 10 o'clock, we have an algo. No, there's no algo at 10, is there? No. It's a,
Yes, there is an algo at 10.
I know there's one at 11, but I'm not sure if there's one at 10 per se, but
Yes.
based on ICT, his is 11 o'clock. Or is it 2 o'clock? Oh yeah, the 10 o'clock. The 10 o'clock one. Yes. I'm sorry, George. There is one at 10 o'clock. Yes. 10 o'clock. Not used to the mornings here. Okay, so we're at the macro now. So we've broken above this high. So now I'd be looking for a retrace back down into this gap right here that I've just marked off. So if I can get a retrace back into this gap, that is a buy on the NAS to go back up. Question is, do we get the retrace? This is one of the hazards of doing it this way, where you're waiting for that 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you don't get much of a retrace, if any, and they just continue going straight up. However, we would expect, once we reach that high, to get a retrace to continue. Doesn't have to be this deep, mind you, but it can be. If we do. So we also look at Tesla. A couple of our traders here that trade Tesla. Tesla is doing a similar thing. You can see that
I caught
a big gap.
Got a short move down.
Good morning, Peter. So yeah, there's opportunities to the downside there on Tesla. There's our structure. Now they're breaking the high, sweep of the low. We're looking for a retrace here to jump in to catch Tesla to go up and take out the highs. This would be a nice move if anyone who wants to catch it to the upside. If we can get a retrace back, and you see there are gaps in here on Tesla. So we've got a gap here, a gap here. That's an inverted gap now. So if they can come back to that, that would be perfect. There are gaps in between, inside, one there. That looks like a perfect area for them to come back into. So if they do that, that's a buy opportunity on Tesla. The first gap I would ignore because it's too high up. I want to be a little lower and down into the mid. Essentially, I'm looking for a 50% retrace. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Okay, so there's the NAS coming right into the sweet spot area. So I'm going to take a buy on that right now. Take a buy on that, and it's going away on me here. So there's my entry. I'm just doing a market order at this point. And where would I put my stop now? So my stop I can put either below the middle candle that started the gap or the lowest low, and that's too far. So I'd put it below the middle candle here, or maybe just a tad lower just in case they decide to come down. But I think it should be okay around here. We're getting that move up right now. Once I come up to this high, I can actually, at this point, I can actually take some off because it's moving so fast. I get an opportunity to take a partial here. So I'll do that. and just let the rest go. So it's perfect entry, perfect move. So take some off, and then let's see if we can continue going up. I'll set my target for the highs.
You see a 1, 2, 3 bottom on Tesla yet?
That's exactly what we're setting up. The same thing as we're seeing here. So we've got the 1, 2, 3. We came back into almost touching into that gap, but we didn't quite touch it. So this is the difference with Tesla, where there are two gaps in here. There's one here. So they came back into the first gap only. So that's showing a lot of strength in Tesla right now. And so they came back there. So that would have been a buy right away in that area. And now we're pushing to go up to take out the highs. So that's exactly what we were looking for. Let's see if S&P did. S&P, wow. I think there's divergence here on the low. Let's see, 415.5. This low is 415.4. No, they did break the low. So it looks like they almost diverted, but they did break the low. So this is considered a sweep of the low. So if we're looking at our 1, 2, 3, we're looking at what are we looking for in order to get into it? And we'll consider 1, 2, 3. I think there's about 5 or 6 steps. So I'm going to go over each step. And this is kind of what I'm looking for. Let me say there's 6. I'll put 6, but there might only be 5. But I think there are 5 to 6 steps. So the first step would be if we find a low. In this case, I'm just talking about a buy at this point. So just looking at just for a buy. So the 1, 2, 3, and a buy. Then what we're looking for is our low point, our number one point must be at a previous low or a previous, so a low, a swing low, or a fair value gap. Or basically, you could say a support area, right? A support area of some kind. So some kind of support, which is usually a swing low, fair value gap. So once you get that, then that's your number one. Number two, we would look for a sweep. So a sweep would be a previous low in this case, right? So previous low here. We would check those off. If we have a sweep, we have a swing low or a fair value gap to the left over here somewhere, which we did break a previous low, and now we break this low here, previous low. So that's our sweep. That's our number two. Number three, we want to see another sweep to the high. So two sweeps essentially. I'm sorry for my writing, it's terrible here, and I'm writing with a mouse, of course, so it's gonna. Okay, so we want to see another sweep. So we'll move back to the upside, a sweep of the high. So that's essentially called a change of character. Change of CHOC, right? Change of character. Okay, I'm really having a hard time with my mouse. Okay, so change of character. Then we want to see a retrace. We want to see a retrace back down into the 50 to 62% that I pointed out earlier. 50 to 62% retrace, right? Into that sweet spot area. Now, number five would be if there's a fair value gap there. If there's a fair value gap, or an order block, then that gives us a bonus. So there is a fair value gap or a fair value gap or an inverted fair value gap. So I can say fair value gap or inverted fair value gap, right? Either one. So we had both in this case. We had an inverted fair value gap and we had a fair value gap, regular fair value gap. So that's gives us another confirmation, confluence. And then number 6, we buy. So that there are those steps. Where do we put our stop? Our stop would be below the low, ideally, or somewhere below a gap or something like that, which is what I've done here, which I could be in jeopardy now because they could spike it down, take me out, and then continue out. So we're struggling a little bit to get out of here, interestingly. So it is possible that I could get taken out at this point, or we continue out. Looking for them to continue back up. So those are the steps. And it's just a mechanical kind of thing. You know, that's what we're looking for. If you can do that and find that, then you can get a trade. So now they're lingering in this 1, 2, 3 area for too long for my liking at this point. So I'd like to see them push out of here and get going. So let's see if we can do that. So essentially, right now what they're doing is we've swept, we've got our 1, 2, 3. They've done it again. They've swept. We got another 1, 2, 3.
This is
So
the second 1, 2, 3 that
doing it again, and now we're looking for them to go. So we want to see them get out of here to the upside, but it's a little bit of a struggle to get out right now. So Tesla might be doing a struggle as well at the same point. No, Tesla is moving out quite nicely. So Tesla is doing it in a nice way, whereas the NAS is struggling a little bit, interestingly. Okay, how is Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin's also struggling as well. So I've got my gaps in here. So it's come back into the gap. So Bitcoin's just set up now for a buy. Got a larger gap here. So Bitcoin's looking good for a buy. So I'm going to take the buy on Bitcoin. So if I put the fibs on this move, right now I'm looking for 50 to 62% retrace. So we're right in the 50 to 62% sweet spot area. So that's perfect. I'm going in. I'm based on a fractal, and I'm actually jumping ahead. I'm just because I'm in the 50 to 62% area. I'm looking for that turnaround, ideally at that point. So looking pretty good here that we should continue going up here. Okay, and out. So my stop then would be I'll put it down below this candle's wick here. This is the mid candle that started the gap. So that should be a reasonable spot for a stop. Let's see if we can push out. NAS is starting to push out again. Now look at this from the 5-minute standpoint. Okay, looking pretty good that we should go back up. Can we make it all the way up to the top though? Let's see. All right, so I'm going to calculate my target here, see where we get to. So this 1, 2, 3 here, let's see where it takes us. 1.618 takes me right back up here. So it is reasonable to expect that we could definitely go back up and take out the highs. So I'm going to put my stop up at the highs. However, that doesn't guarantee that I'm going to make it all the way to the top. So 1.618 would be a nice reasonable target as well, but we could certainly push all the way up and take out the highs up here. I did move my take profit, did I not? I thought I did. So we're getting a nice push here now. Okay, did you not see me just move my take profit and put it up there? Try this again. Unless they're very slow here, that's possible. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so getting another nice move. So I can actually move my stop into positive now. So I'll do that. I'll just bring it up into positive so there's no loss on this trade. Bitcoin's also giving me nice profits. So I'm going to take something off on Bitcoin real quick here. All right, so can we make it all the way up to the top? Okay, this thing is super, I'm not sure what's going on. I moved my stop into positive. It said it did it, but it's taken, oh, there we go. It did do it. It's just slow. Okay, so we're looking for another gap here. That should occur momentarily. Yeah, we've got another gap. So again, I could bring my stop up a little bit further. I don't want to bring it up too much because they could come back down easily and take me out. We're now into we're into the 10 o'clock algo now, George. We're 5 minutes in. So our
I'm
algo
not
is
really calling this an algo. It has some aspects of it, but the trades are so fast.
yeah, this is looking pretty good as an algo at this point because it is in the algo time frame, and we did get a gap here, and we're pushing out. So at 10 o'clock. ICT says that there is an algo that runs. You're looking for the first fair value gap, and then once that occurs, if you can get in that area, you can catch a nice move that will take you up to a previous liquidity level. And this liquidity level sits right up here right now. So that's why I put my target up to that level to get up there. So I'm going to bring my stop up a bit higher here just to lock in a bit more profit. Bitcoin's doing quite nicely as well. These previous gaps now on the other side should act as support levels to continue pushing price to the upside here. So I'll just mark them off. So we're right there. So this, in actuality, I could actually add to my position at this point if I felt had that whim to do that. So this is another fair value gap here. It's a regular fair value gap that could continue pushing us up to those targets, up to the target up there. So Tesla must be doing a similar nice move there, and it is. So it's getting up there.
Yeah, I caught that move.
Yeah, great. That's good.
This algo trade is over.
We're just halfway to our target, so I would expect a continuation to the upside here. So taking a little breather. So we've got a 1, 2, 3 bottom, another 1, 2, 3. So we're going to get a little bit of a hiccup in here, of course, and then we should continue pushing up still to those highs. So I just don't want to be taken out at this point. That's all. But they can easily come down and take me out because I did put myself up a bit high, and I'm skirting the previous high here, so I could get taken out, but I'm hoping this gap here holds midpoint and we can just continue off of it. It's tempting to buy some more here as well. I could do that. I could add to my position here, but I might have brought my stop up a bit too tight here. So let me just see if there's hiding it back down a little bit might help. I don't like moving my stop once I place it, so I could be in trouble there. They could take me out. If they do take me out, I can always go back in, which is one good thing. They're coming down quite a bit. Yeah, a little spike and I could be out because I'm sitting right on the edge of that abyss there. So yeah, okay, so they did take me out at that point. So I'll look for a turnaround here. So this is quite interesting turn of events here. They've come back quite a bit on this into this area. So I'm going to take this fib off, clear this up a little bit. Okay, so we've come back into this gap. We're getting a nice bounce at this point. So I'm still alive in Bitcoin. So they almost got me in Bitcoin as well. I didn't move it up as high in Bitcoin, so I've got a reprieve in Bitcoin. So still looking for them to push it to the upside. So I'll look for a fractal here for another entry. And we're getting one right now. So I will. So the only way I'm going to be wrong here is if, let me just go to the 5-minute real quick, is if this is a fake out move and they're going to come back down to take out these lows, but I don't really see that as such at this point. So I would feel a little more confident about going long here to continue going up. If they come through this gap, that might change my mind. So we'll see if that occurs. Okay, so they just stopped me out of Bitcoin. So we're coming back down quite a bit more than I would expect. I'm not getting a fractal, so there's no trade at this point. There is another inverted gap here. Mark that off. Small one. We've come right into that inverted gap, so let's see if I get a fractal now. And I do, so I'm going to take the trade now with that fractal. So let's see if that works. So again, I'd be looking for them to come back up and take out the high, but My stop would be below the low. So this also is a retreat. Let me just bring this gap over. Okay, so we had a no sweep here, but we did sweep here. They go up, they sweep here, pull back into 50 to 62%. We're looking for them to leave again, take out this high. So this would be a short-term target. Okay, getting a nice push. I'm going to take a little partial again because I can. Well, I could, and they pulled back real quick on me. That's really quick. See if we can get back up there again. That was quick. So they might be taking me out here, and I think they might have just taken me out without giving me a chance to take a profit here. Yeah, I had my stop right under here, so they've taken me out on that. And I can see why they've taken me out as well. And that's just a little interesting one here. So I've got a 1, 2, 3 here. They dropped it down. So at this point, I would expect them to take that low out. I just noticed that. I just noticed that because I was looking at it as that. And this can happen where you get a 1, 2, 3, 3, 4 very fast. Let me do that again. See if I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like you're done. Looks like this could be the bottom, but then they go up, take out this high. So it looks like a sweep. Everything looks pretty good here that we could just go, but then they take out the low. So that's a typical move. So again, I would try for a swing low here. So we're not getting much of an algo at this point, as you're saying there, George.
Yeah, that's what I said when I said the algo would end. That's what I meant.
So it did start off looking pretty good there, and now we've got this big retrace. So again, I'll be looking for a fractal now to jump back in. So same thing holds. We've got a nice opportunity for an entry, so I'll take it and try again here. If I'm wrong, I'm going to get stopped out again at this point. But my risk is not very high, so that's the key. They are taking that low. My order hasn't even been, I can't even see my order, so I can't even put a stop in at this point. That's really annoying when you can't see your order. So, okay, so there my order is in. My stop would have been here, so I would have been taken out on that. So this really is a non-order in essence, but it could still be right. We could still push back to the upside here. If they take this low, then I'm totally dead. That breaches our 1, 2, 3 if we break this low right here. So this is our number 1 point. This is our number 2 point. This is our number 3 point. So we don't want to see a breach of this low here. So I could then put my stop at that low, because if we go below that low, then that's it. I am wrong, and it's not a 1, 2, 3 bottom, and that's all there is to it. So I was trying to just take a quick profit right there, and it was so fast. By the time I put my order in, I didn't even get a chance to put my order in to take a quick profit. Otherwise, I would have suffered a smaller loss on that play. All right, so we're looking for another push to the upside here. Let's see if we can get it. This is a mundane morning so far. Mundane. I always call Mondays mundane. This is usually one of those type of days where not much transpires exciting wise, unless there was some kind of news the night before or something like that. Okay, so we're looking for a sweep of this high. And then we get a 1, 2, 3 here to continue up, something like that. Can we get to that high? I'm getting nice profits. I'm gonna take a quick profit here just because they took me out last time. So see if I can do it quick enough this time. Okay, that's good. All right, so get a little partial there. Mitigate my loss a little bit here and bring my stop up a tad, but not too far. Let's see if we can continue going up. The Tesla fare. Tesla's pulled back as well. So I can see Tesla's 1, 2, 3. And we came back in, and we should continue up to take out these highs and these highs. So still looking for them to continue up here. Okay, Bitcoin's giving me nice profits as well. I went back into Bitcoin. So I've taken a little partial on Bitcoin. So we're doing quite nicely there on Bitcoin.
What time is it?
20 after 7.
Hmm?
20 after 7.
All right, so looking for continued push to the upside here. Otherwise, I'm in trouble again if they come back. So can we get that push? That we're 21 minutes after the 10 here Eastern. And our algo has not really kicked in at this point. So we did get a first fair value gap after 10. And it looked pretty good that we would continue up. It looked like we were just going to continue straight up, but they pulled back quite deeply. And now we're pushing back again to the upside. So we do have a gap in here. So my chart is looking a little messy here, but I'm just marking off all the gaps just to kind of show you what I look for and what I'm seeing and so forth. So there's a gap right there. We pull back into that gap, looking for that to push us to the upside. There's also an inverted gap there right here. So I'm marking that one as well. And that inverted gap can also push us to the upside. So the inverted gaps are very powerful. We're getting that nice bounce off them to continue pushing to take out this high, this first high. We still haven't had our 1, 2, 3 as yet. So we're looking for them to sweep this high. They don't have to sweep that high, mind you. We can get a 1, 2, 3 like that and go before sweeping the high. But ideally, you'd like to see them sweep the high. But there's no guarantee of that. Bitcoin's going quite nicely. Got a nice gap there. So I could move my stop into positive just so that I don't lose on this trade. So I like to put my stop into positive if I'm going to move it. Most of the time I don't move it, but if I do move it, I want to put it into positive. I don't want to put it at break even, because if I put it at break even, I'm getting nothing. But I'd rather get something than nothing, right? So that's just a little preference. All right, so you can see Bitcoin's clean plane here. We got beautiful 1, 2, 3. We got the sweep. We got the sweep. We got the retrace, entry, get another 1, 2, 3. This time we did not break the high. So that's why I say it doesn't have to break the high. We would expect it to, but it doesn't have to. There's a sweep here. And then another little 1, 2, 3. Again, we did not break the high, but they swept here. And now we're pushing off to the upside. So this is a very nice looking setup here. We should continue pushing up. And where would they be going? They have to go back up to the highs where all the liquidity is sitting. And so that would be the logical place for a target of these highs. Most of the liquidity sits above these highs. So, and based off our 1, 2, 3 bottom here, I'm going to mark this 1, 2, 3 bottom on the fib expansion. So this move, if I put the fib on 1 and 2 and 3, or 1, 2, 3, 1.618. I've marked off my target at 1.618 right there, which is right at the previous high, so it's perfect. So that's where I would expect price to go to.
You simple that.
All right, NASDAQ is still struggling. Wow. So NASDAQ is not doing as nicely as Bitcoin is, that's for sure. Quite interesting. So I've got another 1, 2, 3 now at this point, and we're looking to push, take out these highs and continue pushing. You see how it looks on the 5. So still a bit of a struggle trying to get out of this mess down here. Quite interesting. Let's see how it looks on the 15. Still a bit of a struggle to get out of this mess. So am I totally incorrect here? We're not going to take out these highs. I mean, it's possible that they might not get up there and we could just go to this previous high, which is, something like that. That, like I said, give us a head and shoulders here, and we could then start coming back down, because it seems that they're struggling quite mightily to get up to these highs up here. They're struggling just to get out of this area, never mind. So it is a possibility that we might not see those highs being taken at that point. So again, if I've got my charts are really marked up here. I'm going to try to clean it up a little. It's pretty messy here, so let me try to clean this up a little bit and get rid of some of this stuff off here that's not relevant anymore. So these guys over this side aren't relevant anymore. So at this point, I have a 1, 2, 3 bottom here. So I could mark that and then look for my target at 1.618, which is taking me saying, okay, this might be a first target high, but that's only continuation. Yep. So it is definitely reachable, these highs up here at 2.618 and higher. So that's where I would set my target. Those highs. My target would be these highs up here. So Bitcoin is treating me nicely and going up beautifully to those targets up there. And again, I can move in and lock up more profits as we go. See if I can get 1,000 out of it at least, without coming back and getting stopped out. That looks pretty good. Okay, so trying to make it up to that high there, which would give me some very nice profits there. So this is a beautiful 1, 2, 3 bottom on Bitcoin that's given us that nice push to the upside. So Bitcoin, when we first started at 930, when it first opened, we had a 1, 2, 3 double 1, 2, 3 already set up here. 1, 2, 3. So if we were looking at Bitcoin, that would have been a better one to enter, because we had a sweep up here, a sweep here, drop, pull back without taking out the high, another sweep here, drop, pull back. These are entries in both areas to catch a move down. So that was a really beautiful setup at that point. So this target that I've got marked, I can even go higher than that. And the reason why, I'll show you on the, let me go to the 15, you might see it better. A little choppy there. Okay, so the reason why I can go higher with my target is because there are equal highs up here. So I'm going to put it at that high. And the reason why I'm doing that is because if I go back to the 5 minute, can't really see it on the 5 minute clearly, but my 1, 2, 3 here will take me to this level, certainly, yes. However, when we get here, we can do this and then continue higher, because our structure is that's what we're looking for in our structure. So I get to this point here, which is here, and then we can expect a pullback and a continuation. So I can move my stop higher to the high here, because that's the expected move, that they will come into this area. I can take all the profits off at that point, or I can, take a partial at that point, or I can move my stop up higher. By moving my stop up higher, I take the risk of getting stopped out because this is a choppy area. But in either case, you can take profits or stay the course and continue up one more time. So you have that luxury. My 4-hour candles are telling me that this is a very strong move. So we opened on the 4-hour candle right here. This is the current candle. We opened, we went down a little bit, we went up a little bit, dropped back quite a bit into this wick or tail, took out the previous 4-hour candle's tail, and the previous one as well, previous to that middle one. So these are just sweeps of these lows. Now we're pushing up, taking out the highs of the previous candles as well, and we're pushing up to go to new highs. And these new highs are the current candles high already. So we're looking to take out the current candles high. So this was all, we were all in the tail down here. So when we're in the tail, we want to catch a 1, 2, 3 bottom to continue back up to the top. And this is what's happening. So it's beautiful setups here this morning on a mundane, liking it. So on the 5 minute, I have a big gap there. And another one painting right now. Let's mark it like that. Still has a couple minutes left, so but I would expect another gap here. And so I could move my stop up once this gap is formed. I want to wait for that gap to be formed. So how's NAS doing now? We're still going up slowly, still dogging it, eh? It's trying very hard, but it's not as going as fast as Bitcoin is, interestingly. It's trying hard though. What is Dow Jones? Dow Jones is totally different. Wow, what a difference. So the Dow, big, huge gap here, which we don't have on the S&P or the NAS. And now we're chopping. We're trying to push out to take out these equal highs. You see, but it's a completely different chart. than the NASDAQ and the S&P. They're just a completely different animal. Quite interesting. So we're still struggling here with the NAS to get out. Okay, I'm going to put my stop into positive here. I forgot to do that on the NAS. Let me do that just in case they decide to come back for whatever reason. Do have a gap there, so I can come a little higher. Let's go to 500 bucks at least. All right, so I've got a gap here. So this is just patience now to wait this out. At least I'm in a position where I can't lose, which is the ideal position you want to be in. You want to get into a trade where you're in positive, no losses whatsoever. So I've had one loss so far this morning. That broke my record because I was doing quite well. So Bitcoin and NAS doing quite well right now, but I was doing quite well prior to this loss here. I don't think I had a loss before that. Yeah, I've been playing last night and so forth, and I was on quite a roll here. And so I don't think I had any losses for the last 10, 12 trades or thereabouts. Let me see when my first loss was prior to that. There it is right there. So I did have one loss right there. But I've had just a stream of wins playing Bitcoin last night. So I was just playing Bitcoin right up to I couldn't stay up till London Open. I had to get to sleep because I was having to get up so early this morning. But yeah, I was having quite the run here, just taking off profits before bed. And this is my first loss this morning. So not bad. All right, so Bitcoin is getting up to that first area, looking good here. So remember my target was for those highs. So I'm going to mark that high so I can see it. So I could just take the profit off at that point and call it a day, or move my stop right up higher. So if I move my stop up here, I could easily get stopped out. So that's the risk I take at that point, right? So there is a gap forming. Now that I've got my high, there is a gap forming here right now. So again, we'd use this gap as a bouncing support area. They're shrinking it as I speak. We've got still 30 seconds left in that gap. So if this gap holds, then I could bring my stop up even tighter. Because now I'm coming into that area, that 1, 2, another 1, 2. I could come into this area where we can chop before we go again. So I could easily be taken out. They can come all the way back down into this area and so forth before they go. We don't know what they're going to do at that point. They could also just go straight through and continue up. But again, we don't know what they're going to do in this area here. So, all right, so I'm looking for okay, there's my gap now. Looking for them I'd like to see them just continue straight up, but there's no guarantee of that. So I thought I moved my stop. Again, they're slow. So I'll try it one more time, see. Put it right below the candle that started the gap. Lock in those profits. So if I'm wrong here, they can come back down easily and take me out with a wick. And that's okay. I'm getting some profits, but I have some nice profits there in Bitcoin. So let's see NASDAQ again. Okay, NASDAQ is still not pushing as quickly as the Bitcoin is, but it's slowly trying to grind up there. You guys awake?
Yep.
Yes, sir. I was just thinking that I need to say something because it's you alone talking.
No problem. Yeah, anytime. Interject, please.
Did my alarm go off? Did it? Did it? I don't know.
I'm
Hello?
talking to keep myself awake here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all you hear is snoring. Okay, so my profit order was executed on Bitcoin, it says. Oh, okay. So let's see what happened there on Bitcoin. I thought I had moved my stop higher. I did. Oh, okay. So they went up and took it out. Wow, that's cool. So I hit my target on Bitcoin. So there it is. So I set my target for that high.
Will it go higher?
I probably could have gone higher. I didn't go any higher than the 15-minute. So let me see where. Oh, there are higher highs up there as well. So, yeah, I mean, I thought this would take a while to get up there, but they did that very quickly. So that's pretty cool. So let me just see what kind of profit that was. That's $6,000 in profit there. So nice move on that. So nothing wrong with that. We could get a pullback now, right? So our structure, you can see our structure is intact. So we've had a 1-2, and then another 1-2, and then this a little jig here, and then another push to the upside. So that's what I would have expected, that we could certainly turn at that point. So yeah, I could have gone for higher targets because we're still inside this third wave. So we could still go up higher. So on the 30, these highs are also in jeopardy here. This next high and then this one. So yeah, they could reach to those highs. So if you still wanted to get in, if you felt really strongly that price could make it up there, you could still jump in to go. But at this point, I'm good on, with those profits, and you can call it a day, as it were, because that's nice profits for the day. NASDAQ still looking for them to push up here. So I'm not going to go much higher than here with NAS, because this is struggling trying to get up there. Never mind. So if it can get up there, that's a bonus. So I don't see any gaps here on the NAS. Let's see if I can. No gaps. So it's not making. We could get a gap here. That would help a lot here, but we've got a minute left in this candle, so they could take that gap out. So getting these gaps helps because they act as support as we move up, and it's not making a gap. So it is in a little bit of a struggle trying to get up. So we've taken out this high. We just tied it. It looks like it's a tie. 53.2. They didn't break it by a tad. Okay, so we did break that high. So that's a good sign in any case that we've broken that high. So I'd like to move my stop up a little bit more and protect some of this profit that I've got, but I could easily get taken out with a wick. So it can't go up too high. Try to get about $1,000 at least here. Yeah, I can get 1,000. There we go. Okay, so I'm taking a risk doing that because again, they can pull back, take out these lows, take out this low, and then continue, right? But that's okay if they do that. So how did Tesla make it to its high? Nope, still struggling a little bit to get up there. Tesla is struggling. The indices are struggling. So are we in a different type of pattern and we're not going to make it up to these highs, or what's the story here? We've got a big gap here on the 5. So I'd like to see if they can't get through this gap going up, then this could present a problem, right? We're trying to get through the current gap, and it's having a tough time. Can you mute yourself there, Omar, please?
Okay.
Thank you. Got a little bit of background music noise there going on.
You think
So
we
you see
might
they're
be
coming
forming,
back.
you think
So
we
I
might be
could-
forming a 1, 2, 3 top on Tesla? 1 minute? 5 minutes?
Let's see, on the 5 minute or the 1 minute?
5 minutes, sorry.
Okay, so on the 5, it's more of a fourth wave because we've got from this low here, we've got a 1, 2, 3, then
Yeah,
another 1, 2, 3,
I see it
another
now.
1, 2, 3. So we're in a fourth wave. That's why it's struggling. You see that right away, right?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so that's why it's struggling. So we expected to take this high out. Let me draw that a little straighter. We expect to take this high out. However, you know, they can come and take these guys out first. They could even come back and take these guys out again, which would be kind of nasty, but that's totally possible. And we could bounce, you know, and continue up. So I still expect them to take this high, but we're in a fourth wave. So they're chopping. That's why we're chopping. That's the reason why we're chopping around. So you'd like to not see them take this low at this point and just continue from here. That would be the ideal. That would give us a nice 1, 2, 1, 2. Whoops. What was that? That would give us a nice 1, 2, 1, 2 here and continue. Take out this high. But they could be mean and take out these guys here first. But that would put me in jeopardy for getting stopped out in my NAS trade if they did that, if they took this low. So Bitcoin is still pushing up. So I could have stayed in. I didn't check the 30-minute, which, you know, always check higher. Let's see how it even looks on the hourly. Yeah, that was definitely a target that could have been easily reached there. That's the 2.618 area. So a reasonable target on that move. So yeah, leaving a little money on the table. Don't like to do that. Like to get the maximum amount, but you know, it's all good. As long as you make profit, it's all good. So you see how they've come back quite a bit here. So yeah, they very close to taking me out. So this is a sweep here. So they couldn't make a gap in here. So I need a gap to help me, and otherwise we could be in trouble. So it might be a little tight with my stop. They could still take me out and continue up. So nice to see them take out this high here though. This current high being taken out is good. So I bring my stop up a little tighter now. And if they're going to take this low, then, you know, I'm dead. So there's nothing wrong with putting your stop at that point. Let's see if we bounce off that and continue up. So no gaps whatsoever, which is not helping us to go up higher. So they could have come back to this one easily, right? And that would have taken me out. So I'm putting my stop here. So if they do come back, then I'm out, and that's fine. So we're looking for a breach of the high. And then a 1, 2, 3 here to continue the move to the upside. But we could chop up and down in here as well, right? We don't know what they're going to do still because we're in a fourth wave type area, just like the Tesla is. Okay, we're at almost at the 10 minutes to 11. Well, already macro. We're going to close off at 11 o'clock Eastern. All right. So this is just a quick from market open to the 11 o'clock Eastern, and we're done. And if you can get a couple of trades in and make some profits, that's all you need. You don't have to be sitting at the charts for the rest of the day. So we'll try to do that each day this week. Try to catch the market open and see if we. So ICT's model did not work this morning, but our model works. So with or without ICT, our model always works anyways. So the 1, 2, 3 top that painted right away this morning was playable. So I was looking for ICT's model and it didn't play out. So I'll still incorporate ICT's model because I think he has his stuff has lots of merit. However, our 1, 2, 3 always works. Always. And when I say always, I mean always. It never fails. If you get a 1, 2, 3 and it's a proper 1, 2, 3, you will make it to your target. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And we've proven that over and over and over throughout the years. I've been trading this for decades, and it never fails if you get the right 1, 2, 3. So this model, our 1, 2, 3 model works. And with or without fair value gaps or order blocks or mitigation blocks or consequent and current encroachment and all this kind of jargon, doesn't matter about that kind of stuff. It's all about finding support, resistance, 1, 2, 3 setup, and taking that to your target. And that's the essence of our 1, 2, 3 system, and works flawlessly. George can attest to that. He's been trading for many decades, as I have, and I think he would attest to the fact that the 1, 2, 3 works.
It definitely works.
And Mr. Peter Bain is with us as well, co-founder of Forex Mentor, and he has been trading for many decades, and he can attest to the 1, 2, 3 and its solidity.
I agree.
And it's just a simple concept, not an easy thing to trade, but it's a simple concept and it works quite well. All right, so where is my target on NAS? We're still a ways away. So NAS is struggling so much. I'm a bit reticent to want to. It might not make it all the way up there. So I can see I've got 5 waves here already. We've taken out this high. I would still want to see it continue pushing up, but I still haven't seen a gap here anywhere. So it's just like, oh, that's a lie. It did make a gap here. There's a gap right there. It's just a very tiny one, but that's the first gap I've seen so far, unless I'm missing. Did you guys see another gap anywhere? Don't see any other gaps. So this is since this gap here, this is the first gap that's painted. So this is a good sign that we could push off that and continue up. So if we can take out this high, we can still continue. We're in the macro now at 10 minutes to the hour. I don't see any other gaps, and as much as we can consider this an order block here, an order block, as definition says, an order block must have a gap after it in order to be a valid order block. So in this case, I guess we could call that an order block because there is a gap there, but it's a little higher up. So, all right, so we're looking pretty good there on NAS still to continue. I could move my stop up higher, but I run the risk of getting stopped out doing that. But the gap here looks like it's holding. So if I break this high, I can move my stop up underneath this gap formation here. So Tesla, this should be making a move again. So Tesla pulled back quite a bit here, eh?
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite a drop. It's amazing.
I got 2 good trades in.
Good. There was trade to the upside, trade to the downside. Now it's struggling, and you can see we're inside a fourth wave, so that's why we're struggling like that. So we're trying to get out, but it's a tough proposition here. All right, so we got about another 5 minutes or so before the end of this session. So at 11 Eastern is the no, there's no algo at 11. What's that? What's at 11? 11 o'clock Eastern. Not much goes on at 11. Is there? There's a 10 o'clock algo. I always confuse 11 o'clock because it's my time. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's the algo. So I'm on the Pacific coast. So Pacific time. So if you hear me talking time and Eastern time, I'm always confusing them because I'm always saying my time rather than the Eastern time, and the market is on New York Eastern time, right? So I've got the chart set for New York Eastern. So current time right now is 7:55 on the Pacific coast. So it is 8:55. No, 10:55. 10:55 Eastern time. So I'm always confusing that. So at 11 o'clock my time, it's the 2 o'clock algo that comes on. So that's kind of what's throwing me off here. So I'm thinking.
So what you're saying is it's just a lot earlier over here where we are than it is over in New York.
Just a little. So I'm kind of looking forward to 8 o'clock here my time, so I can go back to sleep. I'm done for the morning here now. So yeah, so if I confuse the times, forgive me, but yeah, I think you kind of get the idea because I'm on the Pacific coast. I'm 3 hours behind, and yeah. So all the Easterners should be way ahead of us in trading because they're getting 3 hours look at the market before we do, right?
I guess so.
All right, so we're pulling back quite a bit here. So
Yeah,
this gap got torn right through. So they are looking to take me out at this point. So I'll still keep my target there if I don't get stopped out, which it looks like I'm going to get stopped out. Yeah, there's not much going to help me here now. Yeah, so this is just a sweep. So we're in a fourth wave, and that's why we're getting this action. So we came up into this area, and now they're pulling back, sweeping these guys. So anybody who puts their stops up too tight, like I just did, it's taken out, which is fine. I've made nice profits. I'm good, but we can now gyrate in here for a while, and then continuation. Yeah, this was a great morning. Only one loss, so that's don't like to lose, but that's the way it is.
Lennox, couldn't that be leg A at this point? It looks like you have 5 is at the high.
Let's go a little higher and take a look at this again. So this looks so choppy to me. It's just crazy. So I'm not so keen about this thing actually reaching up to these highs because we do have a 1, 2, 3 here, and this whole thing that we've been in could be a fourth wave itself, and we could be coming down to take out these lows. So this is not out of the question that we come back down. So I'm a bit skeptical of this move to the upside because it's been a struggle, and you can see how flat we are.
Yeah, we are.
You can see. So up here we have our 1, 2, 3. We dropped to this level. So all this chop could just be a fourth wave, and we're just going to come down, take out all these lows, and take out the low here. So it looks like that because remember I said that they don't have to come all the way back up here. And it looked like we could just come up and make a head and shoulders on the higher time frame. And that's kind of what's happening. See, they're not able to come up. It's just been a struggle just trying to get up here. So I think it's more of a fourth wave that we're in, and we're going to continue down. So be careful about going long if you're still looking to trade. Bitcoin's also turning. Bitcoin is telling us that yes, we've reached that peak, and we could certainly turn back now. So Bitcoin has had a nice journey, giving us some nice profits here. So we could be at that point where yes, we could turn back, head and shoulders again. So at the bottom, we have an inverted head and shoulders. You can look at it that way. And at the top, we get a head and shoulders. And that's a typical, typically forms our 1, 2, 3 formation to go. All right, so we are at the 11 o'clock Eastern time. You guys good?
Back to bed, huh?
Yeah, I am. Everybody good? Because I'm going back to sleep.
George is taking us out for lunch in an hour, right?
Yep.
Everybody good? Any questions or anything like that? Stacy's joined us.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
All right, if everybody's good, I'm going to call it a day. All right.
Hey, take care now.
We'll see you. So
Thanks,
that's all. You know, this is a great edification for you because you don't have to sit at the charts for hours and hours and hours. You know, we usually typically do it from.
Yeah,
10.
look, it actually made some nice money, and it was not that much of a struggle.
Not much. I mean, a little bit of a struggle in NAS, but you know, typically we're here from 1 o'clock Eastern till close for 3 hours, and it can be very tough trading. But you can see how in the morning it's much more dynamic, and you can quickly make some profits within an hour, within half an hour, and you're done. You don't have to trade for the rest of the day if you don't want to. So this is kind of what we like to show you guys, and we can do this. We can do this. In Tesla, for instance, we can trade. You can trade Tesla straight, or you can I can use options. So this is something I can show you how the options work with Tesla. Lots of money to be made with the options. So thanks everybody for dropping in. Guys, people on YouTube, give us a like, subscribe if you like what you're seeing. We appreciate you dropping in.
Just before you go,
see you guys tomorrow.
Just before you go.
Yes, sir.
The prognosis you would say for Tesla for the day, it might be, it's in wave 4 right now, so we're looking for a pullback still, or are they going to go?
Yeah, you see what I was saying, that they could take this low, and they did. So
yeah.
This is typical of the fourth wave where they play games in here with everybody, right? So we've got this if this is our 3, then we've got our A, our B, our C, our D, our E leg. So now they're taking out the C leg with the E. So you can see we have a 1, 2, 3 here. So we could come down a little further. They could even take this guy out, and then I would be looking for a pushback to the upside in the afternoon here, as we come into the afternoon. So watch out for a further decline here, perhaps because of that 1, 2, 3 top to come down, just like what we're seeing in Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's turning back to the downside. Big time. NASDAQ is also turning back to the downside. So we could see a further decline before we might see a push at the end to the upside. So just be aware that you're in the fourth wave.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in the pre-market on Tesla, had a low of 253.49. So I'm expecting it will probably sweep down to there.
Yeah, and that looks like a definite possibility here because we do have a 1, 2, 3 top in there. So, all right.
Okay. Have a good
sleep.
sleep.
All right, sir. All right. Take care, everybody.
Good one, everyone.
Thanks, Lennox.
All right. Thanks, George.
All
All right. See you, Omar.
Good night.
Thank you. Take care, guys.